This is the Movie Geeks Film News Podcast Network, and you are watching This Week in Star Wars.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Star Wars, a 30-minute podcast dedicated to everything going on in the galaxy far, far away. I'm Mark, and with me is...
Andy. And Stephen.
No Paul just yet, but he may well join us before the end of their 30-minute time. Just to let everybody know, this podcast can now be subscribed to in iTunes, and for all the droid lovers, you can get it on Stitcher Radio. All the links are going to be in the description to the show, along with all our contact details. You'll find links there to our Twitter, Facebook pages. Like us, follow us, share us with your friends. There's going to be an email link in there as well if you want to make any suggestions or comments, ask us questions, give us leaks and exclusives, whatever you need.
It's not going to have my landline details on there, is it?
It's going to have your landline details on there, mate, and your
bank details.
Your bank details.
And my inside leg.
And your inside... I was just about to go there as well. Great minds. Great deviant minds think alike.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting the 30-minute timer.
And we're
off. Right.
Cool.
Star Wars Rogue One. We're going to kick this off with Star Wars Rogue One. Looks like the cast is going to grow to include 2 new young actors. Do you know who Riz Ahmed is?
It rings a bell, but I couldn't say what I'd seen him in, but it does ring a bell.
Well, I'm taking it he's with an Ahmed name. He's going to be sort of Middle Eastern.
Oh, he's a Brit.
Yeah, well, of Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah, he's a great actor actually. He's in. Did you see Nightcrawler with?
Oh, he's awesome.
Yes, he is awesome.
He's the extra camera, the one he tricks into. Spoiler alert!
Whoa!
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. I know what you mean. He's brilliant. I love him.
He is brilliant, and he was also. I think I'm right in saying he was in. Hang on, I'm just going to open IMDb. I think I'm right in saying that he was in Dead Set. Did you ever see Dead Set?
No.
Again, another one I've missed.
Dead Set was a Channel 4 limited series about...
I did. I started it, and to be fair, was it the zombie one?
Yeah, he was in that.
I started watching it, but to be fair, I didn't give it a chance, really.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He's a rapper, isn't he, as well? Did I hear that? Or
do you know what? I don't know, to be honest.
I'm sure he's a rapper. Or in his past, he's done rap. I can't remember now, but...
Well, he's a really good actor. I loved him in Dead Set. I thought it was great, and he just blew me away in Nightcrawler.
I didn't like Nightcrawler, by the way.
You didn't?
I thought the acting was superb. Both Jake Gyllenhaal and him were brilliant, and all of them were brilliant. I just didn't get into it enough. I think I was expecting too much.
Oh, that's a shame. But he was exceptional in it. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he can bring to Star Wars if he ends up being cast. I think that's probably a done deal, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just looking now. It looks like it's all over the net. It looks like it's... Technology Tells just said Riz Ahmed will join the rebellion in Rogue One. That was a day ago.
I'll tell you what, a little while ago I was so worried that Rogue One news was going to either get washed away by anything that came out about The Force Awakens, or that the Rogue One would overshadow The Force Awakens and start to steal a little bit of that limelight. They're getting the balance right, I think, but I'm really looking forward to this Rogue One. I'm so keen.
So far, it's making all the right noises, isn't it? It's definitely one to see anyway, but getting more and more excited as we hear more. Stuff.
It's a new shape and feel for Star Wars, without a doubt. So I think he's a positive bit of casting. And Sam Claflin, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
He's a relatively young actor he's another Brit. You'll know him from...
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Hunger Games.
Yeah, I've seen him in a few things. Hunger Games, yes. Yeah, he was one of the... what they call, the sacrifices, for want of a better word. Yeah,
the tributes, I think
tributes,
they call them.
Thank you. Yeah. See, potato.
Yeah.
But, no, he was good.
I think, looking at a picture of him, I think he's probably the quota for good-looking young dude in the...
Well, that's his part. He's played in pretty much every film he's been out with, isn't he? Pirates of the Caribbean he was, and as I say, even the Hunger Games, he's got that. going for him. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the cast is shaping up nicely, so we'll wait for official confirmation that they're in, but I think that's, like we said, pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
Did you see this week the chatter on Ain't It Cool News? There was a bit of banter between a writer on Ain't It Cool News called Copernicus, who happens to be some sort of academic. He's a science teacher of some kind. He got into it with John Knoll, who's the producer of Rogue One, about the inaccuracies of that teaser trailer.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't seen that footage, by the way. I'll try and get into that at some point. But
so I take it this guy's been to the planet where they see the Death Star from.
I don't think it's first hand.
No. Well, clearly, obviously, he's an expert, so he must know that. But we don't know what that galaxy's like, do we?
No, you are right. It is sci-fi. I think that was pretty much John Knoll's answer. They did cheat a little bit with the science of it, but it was quite interesting to see John Knoll engage him on the subject. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he should have probably left well enough alone. You know what I mean? Just don't buy it. But
yeah,
that's what the thing is. It's a film.
Yes.
No, we don't. There's been look at Gravity. I know you guys. I'm going off on a slight tangent here, but there was apparently lots and lots of mistakes in that.
There was, but it was
But that's my point. It's a film.
It's a film.
Yeah.
I did have a personal gripe with that because the main thing they got wrong was the name of the film. It was to do with Gravity, and they made a couple of really glaring mistakes, and that's why I had the ump. But
the thing is, you go and see that. It's just, the reason I see films is escapism to get away from your sort of realistic life. So if they make a few mistakes, I've got no problems with that.
That should be our box quote for Movie Geeks Film News, that Andy, because that sums it up perfectly. If you're gonna split hairs over these,
we could sit here all night bashing the hell out of Star Wars mistakes.
You could spend 2 hours talking about why a lightsaber doesn't work.
We take £1.8p living out of talking about mistakes. So we need to do it a little bit.
We'll have to declare that in tax.
No, it's under our threshold.
Right.
That's all right.
Split it 4 ways.
We need to point out, we're splitting it 4 ways. That's not each.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesus. Right. So anyway, I like the idea.
Tax code then.
I like the idea that John Knoll got into it with this guy. I thought that was pretty cool. But something else on before we leave Rogue One. There could be this footage that you've seen that I haven't yet because I'm useless. It's being referred to by John Knoll as a motion poster.
Okay.
Yes, I couldn't find this. I read the notes earlier, and I couldn't find anything to do with this.
Right. It was in. I think it might have been on Ain't It Cool News, the same article. But I was reading a couple of other things that were attached to the same article, and they were saying that the Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, deal means that we probably won't see the Star Wars Rogue One footage until after that movie's been released.
Okay.
And then
confused,
because they don't want to trample over.
No, stealing the thunder.
Yeah, they don't want to do that because they're both being produced by JJ, aren't they? So he's going to want to protect Rogue Nation.
I mean, that's got something to do with why it was brought forward 6 months. It's so
it's obvious now,
isn't it?
It's obvious now, isn't it? Yeah, it's one hand washing the other.
Oh yeah.
But
then that is business, I guess.
I would have said we wasn't going to see this footage at all. I thought it was going to be a proof of concept, almost like a tone poem. Nothing meant for public consumption. But now I'm beginning to think that as soon as Rogue Nation hits in July, we'll get this.
I mean, we're not. Well, yeah. I mean, we're not far. I mean, considering this is next year, Rogue One. I mean, what are they in now? They're obviously out of pre-production.
Yeah, and shooting starts in. I'm pretty sure it's just within a couple of months.
Pretty much started, isn't it? I thought it was actually started.
Pretty tight deadline, isn't it? They're pretty tight schedule.
No, they knock them out a lot quicker than they used to.
I think that you are right, but I think that a lot of this is it Pinewood again?
Is it Elstree?
Yeah, was it Elstree? Sorry, is Force Awakens Elstree or Pinewood, or both?
Well, it did a lot. No, I don't know about Pine. I don't. Do you know what? I'm having a blank. I can't remember.
Well, the rumor about Harrison Ford's scene with his would-be son is supposed to be done in Pinewood, wasn't it?
Right.
And that's where that leaked from.
Okay.
So, but I'm wondering if a lot of the sets or, the stuff is all geared up for Rogue One and all those intermittent films as well.
Yeah, I think they can move in and build sets pretty damn quickly, can't they? So it might be the same location
But that's pretty bleak. When you think Cameron's been writing Avatar 2, 3, 4 and now what looks like 5 for the last 5-6 years, and he hasn't even started filming and he's not due out for another 3 years, they've got a really tight schedule with these. I'm just worried little bit about the quality of the Rogue One.
I wouldn't worry so much about it, Steve. That comparison, I mean, Cameron pretty much does everything himself, doesn't he?
Well, I guess, yeah.
And here you've got a whole story group. They're even calling themselves the story group. So you've got people developing outlines and then writers coming in and polishing scripts, pretty much one on top of the other. So this is becoming a well-oiled machine now.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I wouldn't lose too much sleep over that.
I'm probably, the more I hear about Rogue One, equally as excited for that as I am for Force Awakens.
Yeah, I'm getting very excited by it.
In fact, on Force Awakens, I know, no matter how good it is, it's always going to be a bit of a letdown because of all the build-up. Even if it's only a tiny bit, it can never be as good as I want it and imagine it and hope it to be.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. I've thought that for a while. They're all going to have this episode 1 problem, aren't they? Where there's no way on earth The Force Awakens can live up to expectations.
No.
And that's what happened with episode 1. The only difference could be that The Force Awakens could be better quality than Phantom Menace, so it might settle down and become something more of a success.
I think all of these films like this, that sometimes it takes a couple of viewings, because when you see it, I don't think you take it all in. No, you get caught up in it, don't you? Exactly.
But this is the generation thing, isn't it? Because what kids and people in their 20s and 30s will get out of this film, they're not doing the thing that we're doing. Now, we want to go in there and feel like we felt when we were 10.
Yeah.
And that is what we want, but that might be impossible because we're not 10. Or we're not. Well, whenever. Yeah, we were 10.
I don't know. Ask Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I felt 10 years old. Yeah, his story about walking up the ramp to the Falcon. Yeah. That was amazing, wasn't it?
Have you seen the Father? Is it Father Frederick on YouTube? It's on our playlist, Mark, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's in the Star Wars bits playlist. Yeah,
that was better than the trailer. That was amazing.
Using the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah, he actually used. He said "holy," didn't he? He went, "Holy cow!" That was fantastic. Have you seen that, Andy?
Yeah,
he's excellent.
Brilliant. And what a brilliant example of how you can be, in the church and still get a kick out of like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the first R2-D2 bleep for the night.
What?
You can't do it yourself.
What, the church?
No,
you swearing.
It's all right. It's all right. Let them go free, and I'll bleep them out later.
SH1 Tango. We'll have to do it in R2D2 speak.
Yeah. Right, before we leave these prequel standalone movies, or the anthology movies as they're being called, we've got a code name for Josh Trank's film. It's called Tin Can. Got any idea what that could be about?
I'm just looking at John Tranks.
Josh Tranks.
Josh Tranks. What's he doing?
He did Chronicle, and he's doing the next standalone movie.
I like Chronicle.
Yeah, it's good.
What, the next one after Rogue One or Rogue One?
The next one after Rogue One.
Right, okay.
And the working title is Tin Can. Now, the working title for Rogue One was, I think it's Los Alamos.
Okay.
Could be anything, couldn't it?
Well, Tin Can,
Harvest.
I wonder if that's about the R2D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought, that it was about a droid.
Are we talking now? Do they run in sequence, these intermediate
We
films?
don't know.
So this could be before Star Wars.
Yeah.
It might be 3PO, will it? It might be R2.
When was R2 made?
Well, we don't know, do we? He was there. He was there, fully formed and part of the Queen ship in episode 1.
Yeah. So this could be way back before like early Palpatine.
Yeah.
Really early, something like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be.
Or Millennium Falcon, because they call it a tin can, don't they, in Star Wars?
Yeah, that seems to be the prevailing theory online, is that it's something to do with the Falcon, either young Han Solo.
Yeah, but what's the other guy? I played it in a game on the PlayStation about 20 years ago. What's that? Is it Dax?
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar.
Yeah.
Now,
that's not out now, is it? That's out though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is not.
They can use it, I suppose.
But I think they're calling them. What are they calling them? Legacy or Legends? I think they're Legends. So, yeah, they could pull him back in, make him part of canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he didn't have.
So we don't know, do we?
He didn't have the Millennium Falcon in that game. It was the Outrider.
That's right,
wasn't it?
Which
it wasn't
was
the Falcon.
Similar looking.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It had like a long part on it or something as well.
It was actually in. It does feature in Episode 4, A New Hope, the special edition.
Does it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's taking off from Mos Eisley. Not the Mos Eisley that we know, the cartoon version that they put in the special editions.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
You got the Outrider taking off from Mos Eisley.
Interesting. And he always had, in the game, he looked just like Han Solo.
Yeah, like a blonde Han Solo, wasn't he?
I mean, it would be a great way. Right, okay, here's real speculation here. Not surprising, a bit of a leap, but not surprising if Han gets killed off in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
What a good way to bring in a younger Han Solo type, dashing rebel type guy.
Yeah.
Pep it all up a bit.
Or it could be a previous owner of the Falcon. It could be Lando. Maybe we'll get an early days Lando story.
Yeah, that would work.
Could be that, couldn't it?
Yeah, these are, like I say, these films, these middle films are fantastic, aren't they?
I'm excited. I'm really excited about them.
Mixes up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Right, let's leave the anthology movies behind. I'm going to jump over Rebels news because I don't see the clock's ticking. So we're going to get to some Star Wars Battlefront stuff, and we'll come back to Rebels if we get time. Star Wars Battlefront is going to be released on 17th of November, 19th of November in the UK and the EU, with DLC available on the 1st of December for pre-orders. So, Steve, you're going to get to play the Battle of Jakku a week before the rest of us.
Yay! Are you not pre-ordering it then?
I probably will, but at this point in time, you've already got access to that a week before me.
Fantastic. Well, can we do plugs for websites? Not that it needs it, but it is on special in a lot of different online things even now, isn't it? And it wouldn't surprise me if that date gets pushed. Although JJ's probably trying to bring it in early, isn't he? He's probably got some pressure on there.
I don't think that'll get pushed very much because of the film release.
Yeah, no, I think there's a bit of synergy there, isn't there?
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, it does look like a good game.
I'm dead keen on that. I can't wait.
Did you see the Armour 3 mod? Armour 3, and they've done an AT-AT in it. And there's also a Stormtrooper riding a little mini AT-AT as well.
I saw that. That's the front page of our Flipboard magazine at the moment. Brilliant.
Yeah, that does look fun. I mean, they're always good, those mods, anyway. But yeah.
Well, I can't wait for Battlefront. I think it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, if there's anything that make you feel part of the whole universe, it's being in a game. As long as they do it right, and another Avatar spin-off.
Yeah.
But
I can't wait to bring that Star Destroyer down.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
I've heard lots of chatter online, Steve, people claiming that they've worked out that that's a Super Star Destroyer that's upside down.
Yeah, we got there first.
You got there first. You busted it wide open when we did that trailer review.
Yeah, we did that in about 20 seconds. We figured that little huckleberry out.
Yeah, nice work, mate.
Yeah, well, I do get when something's right.
You're going to like this, Andy.
What's that, mate?
Talking about The Force Awakens. Seamless segue.
Oh, it's seamless. It's goddamn seamless.
You guys probably don't consume as many Star Wars podcasts as I do in a week, so you might not have heard this, but it looks very much like Max von Sydow will be playing a character who was a former Imperial officer who was on that Star Destroyer that comes down in the Battle of Jakku. And up until that point, there were no humans on Jakku, and then they formed a colony, meaning Ray will be one of the descendants of that colony.
Right. So how are we going to see him then?
He is apparently playing a character called the Vicar, who lives in a village on Jakku that looks like it might come under a bit of heavy fire in that.
Yeah.
In
them running
moments.
away.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's really an interesting concept, that the leftovers, like the remnants of the Imperial forces, would have formed colonies on these planets when their ships came down, and then the infrastructure of the Empire has fallen apart, so that there was no rescue mission.
Yeah.
That might be a really interesting take on this.
It could well be. Yeah. So it's quite. I mean, I'm sort of thinking, well, they crash, but surely there must be some way of contacting people. But like you say, if it's all completely gone, yeah.
When you say human, you mean like biped?
Yeah, humanoid. Yeah.
Humanoid, that's the one, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, here's another cool bit as well. This came out from some photographs of props at the at Celebration. They had an X-Wing, Poe Dameron's X-Wing, and it had BB-8 in the socket behind the cockpit. So it looks like we could be setting up Poe Dameron to be a Luke Skywalker type character, and BB-8 is little R2 sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, interesting flashbacks and keeping that synergy all the way through.
Yeah. There's something interesting about the way the Lucasfilm and Disney are starting to release this information. They just seem to be dropping these little pearls without any fanfare. Like this is where we got at Celebration. This is where we learned that there was two factions, one called the First Order and one called the Resistance, and we learnt that in the costume display. It wasn't a big announcement,
But then, has any other film in the history of film been pulled apart as much as this one is?
Probably not.
I don't remember episode 1 being like this.
Yeah, I don't think they need to make a big fanfare mark when this, cause it's already there. It's already in everyone's imagination. Yeah. Everyone knows it's coming out. It's not as if, you know what I mean? They haven't got to force it to get it out in people's minds. It's
nice
there.
pun.
Yes.
Like
yeah, that's good. Right, I need to ask you this question because I heard this on a podcast the other day and it blew my mind, right? An official at Celebration mentioned to another podcast, I think it was the guys off of the Force, what was it? Rebel Force Radio. They were discussing this lightsaber that's supposed to be at the centre of everybody's, at the centre of the story of Force Awakens.
Okay.
And the guy said to him, think back to Return of the Jedi, how many lightsabers did Luke leave the Death Star 2 with?
Well, what can you work it out if you watch it, or is it up for a debate?
No, you can work it out. There is an absolute definitive answer there.
What 2 or 3? You mean?
You know at least that he comes home with his green lightsaber because he's got it on his belt.
Yeah.
But the whole drive of this plot for The Force Awakens seems to be that somebody is looking for Vader's lightsaber. So the implication is, did Luke leave and take Vader's lightsaber with him?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't he? I suppose.
Did Palpatine have a lightsaber as well? I can't remember now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had two.
He did, but he did. But did he have it on him? Yeah, I'd assume he would have done. Let's assume he had that, being a Sith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may be free, but who knows? I don't suppose we'll ever see that. We'll ever find out in a flashback.
No, I think he's done. Oh, that set us up nicely though. Flashbacks.
Okay.
Do you know who Billy Lord is?
Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Yes. Is that because I've written it in the notes? Or
No,
did you know that?
I knew that anyway.
You're a genius. Right.
Yeah.
She's been rumoured to be playing Princess Leia. For the longest time now, she's been connected to the role of a young Princess Leia in The Force Awakens.
Okay.
And we've also heard talk that there's a young male actor being cast as a young Luke Skywalker. So there's a lot of talk about flashbacks, and this is the main question I wanted to ask. How do you feel about flashbacks in the new Star Wars movies?
I don't know. If they're done right, I guess it could fit. But this is a new ground, isn't it? We've never had flashbacks before.
It's not part of the storytelling toolkit, is it, on Star Wars?
Oh, we've never been a sequel before.
No, that's true.
But you can guarantee
in the new films. I mean, as I say, you could have had a flashback in the original films and in the prequels at some point.
Yeah.
But only in their own films.
You know, like with Star Wars, there are some things that are synonymous with it, like the edits between shots. You know, like the side panning, the weird stuff they tried to put in the prequels and ruined it because it didn't fit with the politics and all the other ruined. Excuse me, there's a beep due in there. But there are some things that you have to have in Star Wars to make it feel like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if flashbacks is one of them.
Right.
I really don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, if I'm enjoying the film, I won't care if there's a flashback in it.
Very early on, when I started hearing flashbacks, I thought the people might have gotten it wrong, and they might be referring to Force visions.
Yeah.
Which I'd be fine with because we've done that. We've done that a couple of times, haven't we? Luke had one on Dagobah, and Anakin Skywalker had one where he dreamt of Padme dying.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. I'm not sure how I feel about flashbacks, but let's just speculate. Say they do flashbacks. Are they going to be setting up these anthology films?
Possibly.
Could Billy Lord be scheduled to play Princess Leia in Rogue One?
Yeah, see, I don't think the anthology films will have this main story. Let's call it the Skywalker theme. I don't think they'll have that at all. I think they will be set in that universe. You may get a little nod to that. Yeah, I mean, they go to a cantina somewhere and someone mentions Luke, but you know what I mean? I don't think they'll actually be, because then they wouldn't be standalones.
No.
That's my take on it anyway.
They'd be tangents then, wouldn't they?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
But they can't. I don't believe that any of these films are standalones in the sense that you're going to want to slot them into a nice storyboard of your own head, aren't you? You're going to want them nicely slotted in there so that the whole thing films a universe.
Yeah, they're going to be part of a larger whole,
universe,
aren't they?
But they're not going to be part of the. I'm going to tag it Skywalker thing now.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good way of classifying.
Yeah.
The story we know as the the Skywalker arc.
Yeah.
I think I'd be happy with the Rogue One and whatever Josh Trank's film turns out to be plugging into the Skywalker story. And if we had Billy Lord turn up in a cameo almost as a young Princess Leia taking custody of those plans, because we know that has to happen because that's what hands over to.
Yeah, the Princess Leia was young anyway, wasn't she?
She was actually, Carrie Fisher was younger then than Billy Lord is now, I think, by about 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. She can't play her any younger, can she?
No, that's right.
That's my point.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, the Luke Skywalker actor that's been cast is apparently very young.
Right.
So they could be going back, and I might actually get my Obi-Wan movie.
Well, you've been asking, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
did get that restraining order from George. So.
It's got nothing to do with him anymore.
No.
Out is out, George.
Yeah. I still don't think you need to be within 200 yards of him.
That's generous. Right, so yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I suspect we probably are going to get these flashbacks, and it wouldn't surprise me if they're used to set up these other films.
I've got no problems with it. I got no problem. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying, but I've got no issues with it. Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it shouldn't be done.
No, that's right.
And interesting, going back, the Rogue One film?
Yeah.
Do you remember ages ago we were looking at the Force Awakens concept art? When you remember there was a first leak of the concept art?
Yeah.
And there was a picture of like a couple of people in a cave?
Yes.
What, like a throne room
Yes, yeah.
Well, there's speculation online that they've actually filmed, Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill filmed last year in Vietnam in the world's third largest cave.
Oh yeah, I've heard something. That wasn't for Rogue One. That's for Force Awakens.
Well,
right?
they don't know, but they're also thinking that might be cited for the Rogue One film, which involves that the planet that's got the forested jungle planet.
Yeah.
Well, but it could be that, or it could be Force Awakens. But they reckon that there's going to be a huge cave in it, and
that won't be for Rogue One, will it? If Daisy Ridley's in it.
Yeah, I think that's unlikely because Rogue
highly
One's
unlikely.
Way before, isn't it?
No, the Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill. Well, yeah, if they were really filming there, then it would have to be Force Awakens.
Oh, that's the timer.
Sorry about my stomach.
That's an awesome one, right? That's it. We're timed out.
We're out.
Oh, we covered quite a nice little chunk of bits there, though.
I think it was. It was pretty good.
Right.
231 days, 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Is that the countdown?
That's the countdown.
Perfect. Right, okay, that's us for this week then. So, if you've got anything you want to add to our conversation about whether or not there should be flashbacks in Star Wars movies, then let us know. Hit that email button in the description of this show and send us your thoughts. We covered everything we need to, guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, that's it. We're done. Stick around for the outro and find out how to get in touch with us. Other than that, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye all.
See us out, Steve, with a Star Wars sound. Nice one.
Was that Snoopy?
Find everything we do at mgfn.co.uk. Find us on Twitter at Movie Geeks News and at facebook.com/Movie Geeks Film News. Thanks for listening.